Well, guys, this is definitely not the morning I was hoping to have, and I am not thrilled whatsoever. It is just before 5 a.m. I know you can't really see me right now. I'm kind of rushing out of my house, but it is just before 5 a.m. on Saturday, May 12th, and I'm heading down to our shop because it is snowing. Nothing on the road. Actually, the road here is a little slushy as well, but my dad was on the camera after we got the PD call, and he said it looks like it is hammering at our shop right now. So I have a couple guys on their way in. I have about an hour drive until I'm down there, so once one of the guys gets in, he's gonna be the first one there. He's gonna call me with eyes on the ground to see what it actually looks like. But this is super unfortunate. We're 3 days away from the end of the contract for the season, and it decides to snow. Anyway, I'll see you guys when I'm down at my I can't talk. I'll see you guys when I'm down at my main shop. All right, so I'm about 3/4 of the way to my shop, and we caught up to a plow truck, so it is going to be slow moving the rest of the way. Oh, maybe he's making a U-turn right here. Oh, it looks like he did stop. Been following him for about a mile or so now. Luckily, I just caught up to him, but as you can tell, there is a decent amount of snow on the ground here. So hopefully the village that we take care of, that I'm on my way to, is a bit less than this. I do have a bunch of guys in currently out scraping the mains and taking care of what is necessary. Yeah, you can see right after the plow truck stopped how much more snow is on the ground here. So definitely snowed a decent amount, and nobody, I don't think, was expecting this on April 12th, especially after the fact that we've had some like 70-degree days already. So super unfortunate. Anyway, it's going to be slow moving till I get down to my shop with this amount of snow on the ground here, but I will see you guys when we are there. All right, so I'm pulling into our complex right now, and I just took a little drive through the village, and nobody is in. The town next to us is not in, the county's not in. We are the only ones in, but the roads look kind of just like how our complex looks. So we're gonna head out and scrape everything. We're not gonna salt unless we absolutely have to. I don't want to put salt on these trucks, but if we have to, we will. We have plenty of salt in the bin. Anyway, let me go get some of these trucks warmed up and we'll hit the road. hectic morning. We were not planning for this. We're actually planning for the exact opposite, hoping that it didn't snow. Luckily, we do have just enough trucks still here ready to go. I had to obviously unload the one truck off the Freightliner, put the plow on it. We sent him out. Luckily, I had Guillermo and Mateo here to help me. I am in a different truck today because my truck is not here. So for you guys, you get to see a little bit of plowing in a different truck for one time this year. Hopefully one time. I might be jinxing myself, but we have like 3 more days left in our contract. Anyway, the snow is done. Obviously, there's a bunch of slush on the road. We got to clear it off. Let me get all of our strobes on. We got a rear wing, which we don't really need that on. That backup light, I don't know what that is. Let's go and take a look on the outside of this truck and make sure everything is on. Plow lights there. Make sure we got strobes on. Strobe on the back, lights down low, another strobe here. Strobes on the front, up top. All of our lights are good to go. Let's head on out and start plowing. Man, this truck runs so nice. Looks like the county is still not out. Actually, I think this is the town, this road, and then the main road here is the county, so looks like they're not out either. There's no way this is good plowed. Just cars. Cars melting it. Yeah. Neither of them are out. The turning radius on this truck is actually kind of impressive. Bad day to be a garbage man. Especially one where you have to grab the garbage off the side of the road and throw it in the back of the truck. That's kind of like a bit outdated nowadays though. Most trucks just have the thing like the claw on the side that grabs the can and throws it over top. Quite a few garbage cans on there, so we'll come back to that. I don't feel like sitting behind them. know if you guys can see the snow flying. When it's wet, slushy snow like this, it really flies off the plow. I'll actually put my camera on the outside and get a shot of it. We're pretty much done with this neighborhood, so once we get over into the next neighborhood, I'll throw the camera outside. right, guys, we got all of the trucks parked. There's Rodrigo's. This is the truck that Paul ran. Carmine ran Rodrigo's old truck. We got our two sidewalk guys heading out to go work with my uncle for the day. Thank God they were here. That's the truck I ran. This is Adam's truck, which we took off the Freightliner this morning. So pretty hectic day for a snowstorm that we were not planning for. It is definitely insane having a mid-April snowstorm, especially when it's 3 days before the end of your contract. Luckily it wasn't too much snow, but you can see our parking lot here is still a bit slushy. It turns out that we were the only plow company around here that actually came out today. The town and the county were both nowhere to be seen. I'll show you in 2 seconds when we pull out of here. This road is probably still all slushy, but the problem with this is, well, maybe they did come out. It's definitely a bit more blacked out than it was before, but there's also a lot more traffic on these roads than the village that we do. So we kind of have a bit more weight on our shoulders because there's not as much heat from people driving on it and melting it. So we had really no choice, but we also are a private company and we can't drop the ball in the last storm of the year. But anyway, that is going to wrap it up for this one. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time.